Hello there guys, and welcome to a new series I'm going to upload. This series is about a league that I am going to debut. I debuted and in that video I'm going to talk about my debut race at Interleagues Kraken. It's about a league that connects like lots of teams, eSports team, for example THR, the team I am, LLXC, SRS, ERL, and more teams, as well as TW. And well, that's my first race. I'm going to race as my team, and yeah, I was a bit nervous and a bit excited at the same time that I was going to race for my team, THR, and I only did some races with that account when I was doing trainings for that team, and I used my normal Xbox account in the other league races, but in this time I'm going to use my THR account. So, well, it's going to be a little bit nervous. And the reason why I never used my THR account for those races is because in that account I couldn't be able to stream, and well, that was just a little bit terrible because when I do the videos streaming and then download the stream and then edit, and yeah, the method I had to use was to record with the console and then go to my PC, which it gets downloaded, and well, I download those fragments of those videos. So yeah, well, as you could see, I was just trying my setup, checking if it was applied the puck farmer rule, which it was indeed. So yeah, I didn't want to experiment that thing because it was going to be the puck farmer rule, and I didn't want to risk. So well, here we are with my first flying lap of this league, because yeah, it's my debut, and unfortunately I just spun. Well, although it wasn't on my lap, but still it could be ruined, but still it wasn't a little bit ruined because it was just 2 corners before my flying lap, so nothing to worry about it. So well, here we are, beginning my first flying lap of this league, my first ever. DRS is now deployed. Let's head into the main straight into turn 1. Let's see if we can do this very smoothly. Head into turn 1. We just we're pressing the throttle too early, and oh man, we just spun into turn 2, and that makes our lap time very ruined. Yeah, that's a little bit rough for our debut. So well, let's attempt another time, and we're just going to consider it as another out lap, and the next lap is going to be my proper flying lap. Well, I was heading to my another attempt for my flying lap. You could see that I just spun, and this time it was because my rear tires were overheating as hell, and I was just spinning and spinning all around the track, and I was just heading to the wall. So I decided to just reset to the track, but unfortunately my rear tires are so overheated that I decided to enter my garage, and that attempt for my flying lap has just been destroyed. So well, I was just practicing and braking where the hell was that speed limit, well, where to brake, but unfortunately I just sped up, and yeah, it was a bit rough about that thing. So well, let's attempt for another flying lap. And though I was just heading to my second flying lap, I forgot to mention that I just lowered my rear tire pressure because I forgot to do it in my first attempt, and here we are on the second attempt. That was also ruined because I just invalidated my lifetime, and yeah, it was just quite terrible. And this time I decided to enter the pit lane, and still with my rear tires pressurized all the way down into like 21, still it wasn't enough for me to get really fast although it solved my problem of the oversteer, but still I wasn't too consistent about the track limit. So yeah, it was like a banker's lap, and also yeah, it was just a joke lap because my soft are the same used ones as this first attempt. So yeah, it wasn't too probable that I'll be in a really high position, but still it was just for practice. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I just used my balanced tire allocations. I was just trying to use the softer ones, but I decided to stick with the balanced ones just in case there are lots of chaos and need to use 2 mediums instead of 1 in the race. And well, I have 3 softs, but I'll just only use 2 because I'll just save 1 for the race. So that means that I have to do 2 laps with the same set of soft tires. So well, those laps are being done, and the last one will be with my new soft tires. So hope I don't bottle it, and let's see if we can get into a high position. And well, I decided to change a bit my setup. I changed my front wing from 20 to 16 because I saw that it was 2010, so I decided to change to 1610. And also I lowered even more my rear tire pressure and climbed up more my front tire pressure just to be sure that I didn't suffer lots of oversteer. So here we are, picking our flying lap. Unfortunately, we are just being a little bit blocked by that TW driver, and we went a bit wide into turn 1, fortunately not invalidating the lap, but then to turn 3, we just braked too late, and we just rear-end him, and we have a snap of oversteer, costing us a lot of tenths and lots of places. But then heading to turn 5, let's see if we can come back, and heading to turn 6, we're just trying to do this as smooth as great, but then into turn 8, we're just trying to deal with my steering wheel glitch, and Storm sets the fastest lap. He's now on provisional pole position. Then heading to turn 9 into that straight-ish, breaking into the 50-meter mark. Then into turn 10, we just cut a bit of the quarter, still not too much because we would have our lap time invalidated. But then into turn 11, we are trying to do this very greatly in order to minimize the damage. And then into turn 12, then into turn 13, braking a little bit deep and not hitting the apex, but then heading to the last corner, DRS deployed. Unfortunately, my steering wheel glitch is now getting involved a little bit, and we just qualify with a time on 119.281, 9th place. That's not good. We could be even better if it wasn't by that crash. We could be maybe at least in 5th position. I think it just cost us like 3 tenths or even 4, maybe half a second, but still, well, P9. Let's see if we can come back in the race. So well, let's get into the qualifying results. So these are the qualifying results. Storm maintained that pole position. He hasn't been taken away by the other drivers. Stock Million qualified ahead of him. They are in the front row. It was a 3-4 for TW. The Bielsa and SRS qualified 5th. Jovan is in 6th. Patosev in 7th. Gael Gaming in 8th. Myself in 9th. ATW of Emmy in 10th. Senna is in 11th. My teammate Gus in 12th. Eddie in 13th. And Flores completes the top 14. So let's see if we can have any surprises of this race, on my debut race. So let's see if there are any nasty surprises. So let's get into the race. So the strategy for the race is going to be a simple medium hard strategy, the same as the default one that the game puts you. Meanwhile, with the car setup, we didn't change anything with the car, not any single tweak. Meanwhile, on the field, we just underfield down into 5th 50 kilograms of fuel, so we need to get a little bit conservative, but still, let's just see if there's safety car, so we can just save a lot of fuel and not getting at the end of the race with still lots of fuel available. So let's get into the formation lap. So, well, meanwhile we're just waiting for the players to get ready, and here we are, begin our formation lap. Well, yeah, we now formation lap is now beginning, and we're just going to do the same thing as we did in Elite League Racing Cup, practicing the start, practicing the reaction, and we're just going to heat up our tires. So, well, how do we communicate with our teammates? So we communicate with our Xbox voice chat. Fortunately, everyone is playing on Xbox, so there are no problems about doing that thing, and we just communicate if we are going to have some team orders, and well, it's going to be my debut race. So I was a bit nervous and excited at the same time that I'm just going to have a race representing my THR eSports team, and it's a little bit nervous because I don't want to bottle my debut race, and I want to do all I can and to make a nice debut, but fortunately that race won't mark my life. Or is it? Well, let's not worry about that thing. We have lots of races, so this is not our last chance. So let's just enjoy our debut race. Meanwhile, we just heating up our tires and being far away from the drivers because I want to crash with Ben and get our grid slot reset with a little bit of a disadvantage. Meanwhile, we are now heading until our grid slot, and we have heated up a little bit our tires. 82 degrees Celsius, a little bit into the cooling spot, into a nice spot. I was trying to say about that thing, and well, I'm just heating up my tires, not a lot because I want my tires to wear out. And fortunately, we just got our grid slot very great, and we're just waiting for a driver to get parked their grid slot. I don't know who is that driver, but we'll see. And well, I don't know who is that driver who's just yet to park their car. And well, everyone has now parked. Let's begin our race, our debut race. The 5 red lights are going to start. 5 red lights have now turned on, and it's lights out, and away we go. That was just a decent start for us, but Johan had a very bad one, and we're now into 7th place, breaking early into turn 1, but we see that someone has just rear-ended us, and we're now down terribly into P18 at one point, but there was a lot of carnage into turn 1. Thanks of that thing, we're now into P14. I think I was the least affected of that carnage, but still I was just so terribly down to the order. But now I just come back into 13th place. Now my comeback is now beginning, because now someone has just gone wide to turn 3 and we just got up a place, and I'm just trying to overtake Jovan and trick him and pressurize him, and I was just trying to overtake him down around the outside into turn 8, and we see that, oh no, I just got a terrible thing that happened to him, and he's now out of the points. Meanwhile, I'm in 11th place, heading to turn 9, overtook Jovan, and I was just trying to overtake Inquisitor, and he's my next prey. And then one lap later, I was just trying to pressurize Inquisitor, and in fact I did, because he went wide into turn 10, overtaking him, but I made the mistake of not deploying my ERS and instead conserving my fuel, and I just got overtaken by Inquisitor, and I was just getting a threat of being overtaken by Storm, or else I'll just get a team order of let him pass. So yeah, I was very afraid that Storm says me a team order that he has to let me pass him. So yeah, I'm a bit scared that I decided to just push a lot, but not so much that I didn't consume a lot of fuel. But we see that Cantu overtook Storm, so all of that worries about being overtaken by Storm by team orders has been a little bit reduced. But we see that Storm is still not giving up, giving the position with Cantu, but still he has a 3-second time penalty Cantu, so Storm is officially a position higher than him because of that penalty. And we're seeing that I'm overtaking Inquisidor heading to turn 9. I was just trying to overtake him down the inside, and in fact we managed to do this thing, and we just being rear-ended up by him, but still we get, oh my goodness me, that's not good, because my teammate Untalkit just got so badly. I don't know what happened to him, but he's now out of the points, and unfortunately, to make things worse, Inquisidor has already overtook me, and I'm now into 10th position, and I just went wide, and that means that Storm is about to tell me to let him pass myself, so I effortlessly let him pass. And although he just overtook me down the inside, I just went a bit wide into turn 1. We see that Cantu is just going to overtake us, and yeah, in fact he did to us, and unfortunately Untalkit is just trying to tell Storm that he lets him pass myself, so yeah, that's not so good, and yeah, it was a little bit terrible for me that I couldn't have chances to fight with him. But yeah, that's the life of being a slower teammate, that you have to get lots of team orders, and I just effortlessly let him pass myself. So yeah, it wasn't so good for me, and I just have to be a little bit hang up myself with those drivers, and well, at least we can get lots of points with our team. When we see that Storm has just spun, and to make things worse, oh my goodness me, we see that Untalkit has just crashed with Cantu, and they just crashed, they both spin, and they are now out of the points, and we see that Inquisidor is now into 9th position. I just lost a little bit of tense, that means that I didn't get the RS, and that means that I'm now a little bit in a disadvantage, that it'll take me more laps than I expect to overtake Inquisidor, and unfortunately I just got a warning, and I almost spin into turn 2, but still I didn't spin, but then again into turn 3. Let's see if we can catch Inquisidor. I think so, because we're now from 1 second to 0.9 seconds, now into 0.8 at 1 point, but yeah, that man was the same man that made contact with Storm and made him spin. Too bad for him, that's just pretty bad for him. Meanwhile, we're just trying to catch him and get P9. And I indeed overtook him around the outside, well, down the inside has turned into turn 9, and here I was overtaking him very easily. And now I'm into P9, and we are just trying to catch Flores, and we're seeing that, well, Inquisidor was just trying to overtake us, but I just left him a little bit of space, but he didn't use it, so well, he just backed up a bit. And we're just seeing that Flores is just going to pit, and well, let's see if we can gain up a place about that thing. But he has now received a 5-second time penalty, but he was just spinning up in the pit lane, that's why he just got that penalty, and we're now into 8th position. So let's try to catch Balder X, and with we just almost been heading to turn 2. Well, I don't know how to say that LLXE, that name of that LLXE. I think it's Balder MX. I'll just say Balder MX. I don't know. If you're that guy, comment me and tell me how can I call you. So, well, just in case you're just watching this video. So, well, let's just try to catch him. But then heading to turn 14. Well, the last corner, heading to lap 9. Unfortunately, I have to let Untalkit pass myself because he was just too fast, and Storm ordered me to let him pass. So yeah, I just dropped to P9 because I was forced to do that thing. And well, hope that it is worth it because Untalkit is faster than myself, so I think he decided to do this to me because he has chances to to catch Balderemix and overtake him and get some points for our team. Although we're just going to get a few points, but well, 1 point can cost a place of the championship, so let's just grab the most points we can and let's not deny some 0 points that may be valuable and crucial for the championship. So well, meanwhile he was just too fast that he did pull me more than 1 second and I couldn't get his DRS, so had to defend for myself with the Inquisidor. So yeah, that made my life a little bit hard, but still I wasn't too much worried about Inquisidor because he was just too slow, and I don't know why, but he just took the corner badly. I think he was just doing this on purpose in order to get me DRS, but unfortunately we don't have the second detection for the second DRS, so yeah, let's just imagine that the third and the first are just one DRS zone. So yeah, it wasn't worth it. So yeah, it was a bit bad, and well, hope we can catch Balderemix, but unfortunately we aren't doing that thing because look at that gap. That gap, I think it has been maintained or even been increased. So yeah, it wasn't so good that thing, so we need to get our efforts and be really fast. But then heading to turn 9, we see that there has been yellow flags, and we see that someone has spawned, and it is Patosev who has spawned and lost a lot of places, and that may be a chance to Untalkit overtake him and get some points for our team. Meanwhile, we need to overtake Pato if Untalkit does, and we get even more points. So well, let's be really fast and let's see if Untalkit does it. And well, we're just getting to lap 11, and unfortunately I just went too deep into turn 13, but still we need to be really fast and recover that pace. Well, that time we just lost because of that corner that we just went deep, and we are now into lap 11, and unfortunately, although he overtakes Batosev, that means that his position wouldn't. Oh, we see that an ERL has just been terribly stopped on the track. I think it was a lap car because we didn't get our positions changed. So well, I was going to say that although Untalkit would overtake Patosev, it wouldn't affect his position because, oh my goodness me, because my virtual safety car has now deployed. He just made me lose the words I was going to say. So if virtual safety car has been deployed, it means that the race has been a little bit stopped and is slowed down, and immediately virtual safety car has now ended, and we see that Johan has been retired from this race and is out of the race, and that means that the safety car, the full safety car, has been deployed. So I decided to box for hearts, and I was going to say that about Untalkit that he wouldn't get his place 1 place off because he has a 6-second time penalty. Well, 2-3 seconds, but he has 6 seconds accumulated, so that means that he has to be 6 seconds ahead of Patosev in order to make his overtake worth it. Meanwhile, we're just boxing for hard tires, and we're just trying to do a great stop, and we see that everything is going good, and we see that we just overtook Untalkit because I think Untalkit just did the boxing very terribly and he just dropped the place. Very tricky move I made myself. So well, we're just trying to get in the bunched outfield, and we're just trying to hit up our hard tires, which is very difficult to do it because the hard tires are just, yeah, it takes a lot of time to hit up our those tires, I mean, compared to the other tires. So well, let's do very hard hit up and with our hard tires. So, well, let's wait until the safety car ends. So, safety car is in this lap, safety car is in this lap. We're just barely in the optimum temperature of these rear tires at 80 degrees Celsius, but unfortunately the temperatures are just getting dropped down, so that might be that our tires are just going to get very cold and we might not get a quick relaunch, but still we're just trying our best to heat up our tires, but unfortunately we're just going very slow. But now the safety car has now ended and we're just going to prepare to go racing once again, and we're heading into the last corner now into the main straight, but unfortunately I just only got a decent relaunch and we're now a bit concerned about Untuckit trying to tell Torm that that I have to let him pass, but we see that there's a lap car which he's trying to he's just trying to let us pass, but then into turn 3 we just braked so late that we just got into the bunch up field, but when we're just heading to turn 5 we're just going decently, but we see that there was a big wall sound and it has stopped. Oh my goodness, my teammate Untuckit is now out of the race. He was just blaming me that I was the one who caused that crash and made him DNF, and although he just spun because I was just getting caught, his DRTR was just trying to overtake Patosep down the inside into turn 9, but unfortunately I just got overtaken by him, and it was just a terrible timing because the safety car has been deployed once again. I think because of that crash with Untuckit, I decided to focus for mediums, but Tom said that I should not go for that thing, and instead I would stay out, but I obeyed him. I just obeyed him, so yeah, I just obeyed him, his orders. And well, I was just trying to say that I think the 38 may cause Untuckit to spin because he just lost a lot of grip with his rear tires and may oversteer, but still he was just trying to blame me completely about that situation. But yeah, it was really I don't know what to say, really obvious that it wasn't my fault, and he just completely spin and crashed into the wall. So well, I don't know what to say, but well, we're just heating up our tires and we're just going to get our field punched up. I don't know what am I saying, I'm just saying some nonsense, and we're just going to wait until the safety car ends. So safety car is in this lap, we're just heating up our tires, but unfortunately our tires have been now below the optimal temperature. It was now 79 degrees Celsius, and with slowing us down, we're just going to get our rear tires temperatures very dropped, and that was a miracle that our rear tires are at 80%. So yeah, it was just going to be a decent relaunch, I don't know, but well, let's see if we can do this thing. But unfortunately I just reacted too late, and unfortunately I just lost the chances to get a great relaunch. And although we didn't lose any positions, still we just get a mid relaunch. And well, we're just going to head into turn 1 a little bit smooth, just in case our rear tires aren't so heated up. We almost crashed, spin, because we have a little bit of a snap of oversteer. We see that into the straight, you saw that there was some front wing debris on the track, and we see that the rear GT is really slow, costing me lots of tenths. I think he was the man, yes, he was the man who got his front wing torn apart, and we just overtook him down the inside into turn 6 and 7, but unfortunately we just lost a lot of tenths, and we are now just watching Patosep trying to fight with Gael Gaming, and I think he's just trying to overtake him down the inside into turn 11. Let's see if he can do this thing. I don't know if he'll do this thing. I don't know, let's see if we can see that thing. I think so, but unfortunately he just got the terrible exit and the gap has been reduced to a gap that I can catch him and maybe overtake him in the next few laps. So meanwhile, heading to turn 9, we see that Batosev is just trying to fight with Gael, but unfortunately he just went wide into turn 10 and we're now into 6th position, technically in P5 if the penalties get applied, because Gael Gaming has 6 seconds of penalties accumulated, but still we're just trying to overtake him physically. And well, we're just getting to lap 19. We see that I think they're just going to do some team orders with Boulder MX and Gael Gaming. I think Boulder MX is just trying to let Gael Gaming pass him, and we are now seeing that GR has now been enabled, and we see that they're just trying to get wheel to wheel, some fight wheel to wheel I think, but in reality it was just some team orders, just like they did to me with Untalkit and Storm. So wait a second, where's Storm? I don't know what happened to him, but still we just trying to get him and overtake Boulder MX. But well, let's see if we can do this thing. Fortunately I could catch him, and I was just aiming to overtake him down the inside into turn 11, no, round the outside, and I indeed decided to do this thing, but he just didn't let me space to work in. Oh yeah, that work of me coming back a lot of places has just been undone in seconds, because I just anchored with Boulder MX with him, and unfortunately yeah, I just stopped that footage and I boxed more softs, but unfortunately I just got a 3-second time penalty because the game said that I exceeded the track limit, but I just went to box, but I don't know, it's just some sort of a game. Well, things happen, sometimes bad luck happens. I was just trying to say that thing, and well, I was just trying to just fight, to continue with the fight with Boulder MX, but unfortunately I just got my wheel anchored with him. I think he didn't left me some space, but I think I would just go into the such curve, well, into the curves, I think so. But well, safety car is in this lap, we're just heating up our soft tires, but well, let's see if we can do this thing. And well, we're just going to go for a 5-lap sprint, and well, let's see if I can come back many places, because most of those drivers have penalties. So let's see if we can come back many places. Unfortunately not this time, we still didn't have a great relaunch, but then heading to turn 1 and 2, and we're just doing this very smoothly, at least in those corners. But I was just trying to overtake Inquisitor for like the 3rd or 4th time in this race, and I decided to back up a bit, and I was just trying to overtake them into turn 9, well, into that straight-ish, and well, let's see if we can do this thing. Meanwhile, we just trying to be a little bit smooth with those tires, but it's now, the time has now come. We're just trying to overtake around the outside into that straight-ish. Inquisitor is now defenseless, but we see that, oh my goodness, Pato 7 has just been involved in a crash, and we see that Teddy and the LXE is now involved into another crash, and we just overtook him, Inquisitor, and that thing happened in a matter of that straight. I couldn't say lots of things about that thing. They just let me speechless, and of course, obviously, the safety car has been deployed, and yeah, I just got 5 places in a matter of 3 seconds. That was just crazy. What a carnage that was. But unfortunately, Boulder MX doesn't have a penalty, so I need to be at least 3 seconds ahead of him in order to get my position not affected by the penalty. But I'll get more places than drop down, because you see that some drivers ahead of myself had 6-second time penalty, so if I stick them with 3 seconds behind them, I'll get those places. But unfortunately I'll drop a place because, well, the MX doesn't have penalty, so if he has a penalty or I am 3 seconds ahead of him, my place would not be affected. So, well, let's see if we can hit up our tires, and let's wait until the safety car ends. So we have a 2-lap sprint. So, safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in this lap. We're just getting prepared for a 2-lap sprint. We're just going to get like 3 seconds ahead of Boulder MX in order to make our positions not affected, and instead just only being climbed up by those penalties applied. So yeah, we need to get a great effort, and we need to heat up our tires to an optimum temperature, and also we need to get those cornering speeds very competitive and also very fast, or else we might drop out a place because of that player. But if I don't do that thing, that might be karma after crashing with him. And well, I'm glad he's in this race, because if he was out of the race, although I would be in that position not affected by the penalty, but I was just going to be a little bit ashamed about crashing with him and DNFing and causing a safety car. And well, let's see. Now safety car has ended, and we get a good relaunch finally. Not just a decent one, now a good relaunch, and we're just trying to overtake Kyle Gaming down the outside into turn 3. We're just going to do this thing very easily, but unfortunately we just went too deep and we just couldn't overtake him, and I decided to just go for that. Oh, I backed up a bit, but I was just planning to overtake him in that straight-ish into turn 9, I think so. But we see that Cantu has left this race, and we see that the AI is controlling it, and we see that Cantu is defenseless as the AI. We overtake Kyle Gaming around the outside into turn 9, but we just decided to back off a bit because he was just squeezing us into the wall. But fortunately we had another chance to overtake him down the inside into turn 11, but instead I decided to just back off a bit because Buck has a 9-second time penalty, so I decided to just be like 6 seconds behind him at least, or even less seconds. But we see that Karikami has gone wide into the penultimate corner. I think he has felt the pressure for myself, and we took the chance, we overtook him. Now time to be like 6 seconds or less ahead of him, well, behind him I mean, so we can get up into the second place. But unfortunately that would be real if Boulder MX doesn't have a great advantage with myself, because he's now less than 3 seconds ahead of myself. So if he gets a 3-second time penalty, I stay in second place. But if he doesn't and still is like 3 seconds behind myself, I still have second place. But if it's neither of those things, well, I just drop to third place. But unfortunately that might happen, that thing, but I'll try my best. Still, a podium in my debut, it's really great, and a little bit situation saving after my teammates got a disastrous race. I think all of my teammates DNF'd or finished outside of the points. So yeah, it was pretty bad for my teammates, but not for me, because I'm about to cross the line to finish third place, because unfortunately I couldn't get that 3 seconds ahead of Boulder MX, and we are now heading to cross the finish line to finish P3. And wow, what a race we had. That was just a great and incredible debut I had. That was just really great, but unfortunately my teammates got disastrous races. So yeah, well, still I decided to save up my situation by doing that effort and finish P3. That was just pretty great debut. They even congratulated me for that performance. So these are the race results. The bad news is that my teammates finished like P15, and the rest of my teammates got DNF, don't talk it. Cause he's the one other than myself who finished the race, but he just finished P15, and an SRS finished P16. Meanwhile, the top 14 was by Struck, the winner, Boulder MX, the one who didn't get the penalty, and what a race he had, because he just started from last place after not assisting the qualifying session, and I finished third place. I would finish second if it wasn't by him. Then Inquisidor finished fourth, Flores fifth, Puck sixth, the real GT in seventh, Senes in eighth, the BLCA, well, the SRS finished ninth, that TW driver finished 10th. That was all the drivers who finished in the points. Meanwhile, the drivers who finished outside of the points but still in the top 14 were Gal Gaming, Kanto, Eddie, and Not Love, I think that's that name. Well, that SRS driver, well, that was just very mixed up results for the SRS. I think they were the same as disastrous as my teammates from THR. So, well guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like of this video please. You can consider it, and also if you want to be a part of the Mexico Boss, you can subscribe to this channel, and also turn on the notifications if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And also you can join my Discord server, and also you can see my Twitch, which their links are in the description down below. So, well, have a great day. Goodbye. See you in the next race.